Hey, and good day. It's Monday, July 6th, and it must be the Master Pattern Report. Dr. Bob Flower here. Okay, let's see what's been happening here. Silver is folding like a cheap suit. We're down to $13, and looks like we may be headed for 12, possibly even 11. We're a buyer here of some silver. Not committing our total resources at this point, but we like it, and we're looking at all of the commodities taking a hit at this time, but that's temporary. We're going to be talking about that in a second. The dollar is really starting to wane now. It's having some trouble. It's up, it's down, it's up, down, and it seems to be getting weaker. Each time it wanes off there, so I mean, we're not happy about what's going on with it. The yen is stronger, and will continue to at least be so at least till the third week in July. So this may well mean that the stock market, S&P, is also going to be weak going into from now through the third week in July. All right, so now we think that what's going to happen with silver and the commodities is that they're going to bottom somewhere around the middle of the month, 14th, 15th, and we are then going to be in a position to jump in there pretty good. Right now, I'd say the odds are 3 to 1 that's going to happen. By the way, you may want to take a quick look at Ford Motor Company. We had taken a position in Ford at the end of last year, and it's down. It's under $6 now. But maybe for a quick play, I would say odds are 2 to 1 that Ford might make a move up to around $8.50, $9 before the end of this year. And don't be surprised if it jumps up even better than that. A lot of resistance to General Motors and the union and government takeover. Okay? And by the way, Ford is working on that Volt all-electric car, and if they manage to pull it off over the next 9 months, I think you're going to see a nice little run on Ford. We're holding our position. We've got a good position with Ford, so we're holding that. All right, let's see what else is going on around the world here. You may have heard that some recent talks about Russia, India, and China formulating a new world currency to displace the dollar, and now China has been backing off with this new meeting that's coming up, G8 meeting, saying, no, we don't see that happening for well into the future. Don't believe it. They're hard at work. The three countries are looking to put something together that's going to take the place of the dollar as the world standard, and the world is open to this, world currencies. The only ones who are really behind us for now are South Korea and Japan. They're the ones that are buying our debt, along with the other three. But the other three are fed up. They don't like this monetizing of the debt. Just printing money, and they're getting very leery. They're getting tired of it. They think that it's a formula for disaster. And quite candidly, behind the scenes, they don't think that the administration knows what it's doing. They think they're flying by the seat of their pants, and that Congress is just a bunch of boneheads that got us into this trouble, and there's no way that they know how to get us out of it. But we knew that a long time ago. It's just that it's coming to the surface right now. If this happens, and it may come as a shock, may come as an announcement like that, the United States economy is in serious trouble. Okay, what else is happening? Well, it looks like fascism has gripped Washington. We're ending up with this too big to fail scenario being carried to all kinds of extremes now, and regulations and things of this sort, and it's more government involvement and takeover and joint venture with corporations, these larger corporations. This fact finding that we've been doing on this too big to fail, so far it untrue. The worst thing we did is to bail these companies out. We would have been much better off letting them go. It would have cost us, in the end, a lot less money. We would have been at the bottom by this point in time, ready to rebuild. But no, so that means it's going to take us longer to get to the bottom, and it's going to be drawn out and be a lot harder for us. Okay. Now, here's what's happening with this whole fascism thing. There are going to be lawsuits that are going to be emanating pretty soon over the next 12 to 24 months from a lot of government actions with these bailouts and takeovers and things like that. And they are clearly illegal by many constitutional standards. Many constitutional attorneys feel that there's no question that what they've been doing is illegal. So that what's going to happen is when these cases start coming to court and the government starts losing, you're going to find tremendous instability in the country's economy and in its constitutional basis. This may well bring a constitutional crisis, which we see happening right now. We think that these tax revolts are just the beginning, and we think they're going to be a lot more profound. However, in the interim, what's happening is Washington has a new game now. They're not going to raise our taxes directly. What they're going to do is they're going to sort of mandate it through the states. They're going to put the heat on the states and make the states raise our taxes, and then the federal government will impose more taxes on the states themselves, state institutions, state governments, and collect additional funds that way. So watch out for that little trick. And of course, what's been behind this is this new mantra that we hear from the government about they want to level the playing field. Well, that's fine, but how are you going to do it? You're going to give from those, you're going to take from those who have and give it to those who do not. It hasn't worked in the history of the world. It's never worked. What makes them think it's going to work now? There's no way, folks. If you don't work, you don't get. If you don't put in, you don't get out. I mean, it's as simple as that, because then everybody does the same thing, and they say, you know what, listen, I've got enough, I quit, give me the same thing. It's not working. We've got to get back into a sense of responsibility here. Okay, so now, and this at the time when California, Illinois, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Ohio are in big trouble, and they're not going to get bailed out. Mark my words. There's going to be fighting and weeping and gnashing of teeth. Okay, now I've got some, before we head for Alaska tonight, I've got some news about General Motors and this whole program about the bailout, and I've got some news about the Obama presidential future, which I'm going to talk about at our when we return on our next show, which will be the 16th of July. In the interim, have a great time, be innovative, and watch out.